Hello and welcome to Flat Earth and Other Hot Potatoes. My name is Patricia Steere. This is episode number 226. It's the UK Flat Earth Convention update. It's the first ever Flat Earth UK convention, and it's coming up at the end of this month, which is April 2018, in central Birmingham, England. So it runs April 27th through 29th. And my guests are two people. One is the convention organizer, Gary John, and also I would say you're a convention organizer too. It's Didi Van H. There's going to be many great speakers there. There's going to be a debate with physicists. We're going to talk about that. And it's all about the shape of our Earth. It's going to be a place to learn. And it's also going to be a place to socialize with like minds. These meetups, mixers, conferences, and conventions are a great place to connect with others so you feel you're not alone. The speakers at the UK convention include Darren Nesbit, Dave Marsh and Dave Murphy, and Landucci, Martin Kenney, Martin Liedtke, Mike Cavanaugh, Sean Connors, and Gary John, the organizer, too. More details can be found on social media, including Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. In the description box of this video, I have got the way for you to do some connecting with their website. And let's let the show begin. Welcome to Gary John and Didi Van H. Thank you both for being here.
Oh, thanks for inviting us.
The live chat is buzzing, and I encourage everybody to give the video a thumbs up, because the more thumbs up it gets, the more attention it gets, and the more people will be able to actually see the video, because YouTube, I don't know what YouTube does. They push it further toward the top. Well, you guys must be very excited. We finally reached April, and we're midway through April. When you first started organizing this, Gary, it seemed like a long way off, right?
Well, I was trying to think tonight, actually. I don't know if I spoke to you in June or in early July, but it seems like a lifetime ago, because so much has happened since. So
yes.
Yeah, it's been a marathon, definitely.
But are you ready? No.
Getting there. I mean, Didi and I, we don't talk every day, but we are constantly messaging each other. We talk about 3 or 4 times. Some days, sometimes 3 or 4 times in a day, and sometimes we go 3 or 4 days, which is rare. But we speak about 5 or 6 times a week, but not necessarily once a day. But it's been a nightmare journey and a fun journey at the same time. We've learned a lot. Well,
Gary, I know you live in England. Whereabout particularly?
I'm in southern England. It's probably, southwest of London, near the Isle of Wight, that you may have heard of.
Yes, I certainly have. And Didi Van H, I know you don't live in England. Where do you live?
I live in Belgium. So that's not that far away, though, actually.
It's going to be a trip, though. You're going to be doing some definite traveling.
I've been traveling a lot the last year, since America. Yeah.
Yes, indeed. In fact, I met Didi at the Flat Earth International Conference in Raleigh, North Carolina. And when I had the show set up an hour before it was to start, people started making comments. And of course, Bob from Globebusters comes in and says, first. And the first comment he left after that was, I love Didi. So you made an impression there because he met you as well. There's something about you that does engender a positive, loving feeling. I don't know what it is, but your personality and just your voice, and I don't know. So people like you.
Thank you, but I'm just a normal girl, so it's strange to hear those things. So.
Well, I'm sure you heard it a lot. And I see you've got a cat friend whose back is to us.
I got 2 cat friends. The other one will show up later, I guess.
My cats seem to be attracted to whenever I turn this microphone on. They settle on this desk near me and often create mayhem. But right now, I'm cat free. It's like I don't even have any cats. I try to feed them right before showtime, so they're crunching in the other room.
Oh, that's cheating. Yeah.
Well, so both of you are set to go and ready. I mentioned who's going to be there. Everybody's checked in. No one's canceling. Everything's going as planned. Gary?
Almost. We have had some problems with the live streaming, and that has been a major headache. When they're on our 4th crew, would you believe? Because the first lot were just ridiculously priced. I mean, I won't go into the numbers, but all I will say to you is I lost my hair over it. I had a full fringe before I started this, and it's finally gone. And then we've had a few false dawns where we thought we had it in place, and then it all went pear-shaped, and that's obviously Neil deGrasse Tyson now using the word pear. So yes, it's been a headache, but what we have lost is the cybernetics guy, and I can actually say cyberneticist, because I couldn't say it when we did a promotion video a little while ago, but he, for one reason or another, has dropped out. But in the end, it's not actually a big loss, because it's the astrophysicist is the guy that we really need there. So yeah, we're there or thereabouts, but we still, Didi and I are working very hard daily to make sure it all comes together, because we don't want to half organize it, because we really feel that the organization is important to make it, because things will go wrong, as you know, but we're just trying to eliminate as much as we can.
Well, when you said you lost that particular person, were they one of the people that were involved in the debate or a speaker?
Debate.
Okay, that's why I hadn't heard about that person. So why did they back out?
It was actually interesting. It's partly down to me, because this is only one spoke of many of a big wheel. Where,
were they a physicist defending the globe?
No, they were a cybernetics person.
Oh. Okay.
But what I liked about them is, one, they came to us, and the other part I liked is that the fact that he had his PhD and he was going for his upper doctorate. So that is what excited me more than what he was about. But to answer your question about why did he pull out, I ended up giving them all the information about the questions, because obviously you've got to bear in mind that we had to write to all the speakers. We had to come up with a big list of questions and try and deliberate which one to use, and that's not easy, because it sounds easy on paper, but actually to deliver that is not easy. And I was dealing with one chap referenced the 3 astrophysicists. I was dealing with another chap referenced the cybernetics guy, and to cut long story short, really, I struggled a little bit to get it out to the right people at the right time. And when we did give it out, we had like a deadline. We had to do it by the Friday. I gave it to him 4 days early, and the guy I was dealing with, who's like an intermediary person, was happy with it. And then all of a sudden, the person saw the questions and backed out immediately. So I think it wasn't to do with the fact that he had the questions like 3 weeks ago and he was trying to make out he didn't have time to study. I think it was to do with the fact that he may have not been, because it was mainly aimed at like the astrophysicist type question. Maybe he felt a little bit rattled. And the other people didn't want to work with him anyway. They wanted to do their separate thing, because they got this thing going where they've actually debated between themselves, and they've got this system and how they're going to tackle it. So obviously they're going to come into it quite organized, which I quite like.
That is good. It sounds like you're quite organized indeed with the whole thing. Now, cybernetics in general, correct me if I'm wrong, and I might be, wouldn't be the first time, is somebody who studies communication, man and machines and that sort of thing.
Yeah, I think what it is, Patricia, the reason why I thought he was of use is because, one, they came to us who was being proactive, and I quite like that. Two, obviously his level of education, and I think I got the impression that he had a broad range of subjects that he could discuss. So that was quite good. And at the same time, this happened at the same time as the 3. With the astrophysicists, what happened? It was just a lucky break, really, because what happened is I spoke to on FEOHP, I spoke to Bob and a few other people about possibly getting Iru to actually debate these guys. But obviously there's a little bit of an issue, but we've got to be fair to Iru, because obviously sometimes he's having to translate, so we had to be fair to him. And I was talking to this guy about him potentially coming to film the event, and I knew he was connected to iScience, Imperial College in London, and I thought, okay, have you got access to some physicists? And he said, I can. What are you thinking? And I basically just said what I wanted to do, and he said, okay, leave it with me for a couple of days, I'll come back to you. And all of a sudden, 3 astrophysicists. I will have to add that they're actually going for their PhD, and even though that's good on one front and it's bad on another, it'd be lovely if they had their PhDs already. But getting these people when they've got their PhD is not easy, but they have to get out there, and actually part of their planning, part of their whole CV has to include doing debates and doing conventions. So it means it allows us to actually get these people on board. Whereas in future, if we did this, which Didi and I have discussed at length about what we would do next, is to get the higher caliber of people, we would have had to already like proved ourselves, found a system that works, because obviously a lot of things have happened this time that have not quite gone to plan, and things have evolved a lot. So it's like a work in progress, really. But I'm really excited about this debate.
Well, getting physicists who don't yet have their degrees, it could work in two ways. One, they're not too fully into the system, so they're fully, obviously they're indoctrinated, but it'd be funny if after our flat earthers best them, and we know they will, they say, I'm out of this career, I'm done.
Imagine that.
That would be great.
Amazing. Yeah,
that would be one thing. But then another thing is that when our flat earthers win, some critics will say, oh, well, that's because they haven't really finished their degrees yet. So, if you really brought the big guns in, well, they would have been able to defeat the flat earthers. So yeah, double-edged sword, but I think it's exciting nonetheless. So Iru, and who else is on the team?
Actually, Didi, would you like to answer that? Because I don't want to hog the chat.
Yeah. It's Mike Cavanaugh, Iru Landucci, of course, and then Darren Nesbit will be in the debate as well. And the last one, Dave Murphy, I think. Yeah, Dave Murphy.
Yes, it is Dave Murphy. Yeah.
Oh,
which
wow.
We're really excited. That's a really strong team, and we're really excited.
Dream team, definitely.
But, like you said before, Patricia, even if people say we won the debate because they're still in school, then it will help to get other scientists to come forward and say we can do this. So
yes, people are competitive. We know that, and when the flat earthers win with one hand tied behind their back, the others in the future who will hear about this will say, I could beat them, and it will bring about that competitive nature, perhaps. So it's all good.
It's not about winning, though. It's about getting the conversation open. Yeah.
Yes, of course. So let's talk about ticket sales. Are there any tickets left for last minuters?
How do I put this? Yes.
Well,
yes, we got tickets left. We haven't got front row left. They sold out about, what do you reckon, Didi, about 3 weeks ago? 4 weeks ago?
Yeah, front row sold out a couple of weeks ago. Yeah.
That's great. That is great. In the description box of this video, I put the link where you can go to find out more information, dates, times, place, and buy your tickets. So Gary, Didi, I don't know who wants to tackle, for people who are just finding out about this right now, could you just give an overview of what the days of the convention are going to have in store, and what the ticket might cost, and what that will get the person who purchases it?
Right, Didi, you want to go first?
Well, we got a whole weekend planned, and it's filled with all different kinds of stuff. So on the Friday night, we have the Friday night. It's from 6 o'clock until 10 o'clock. And there we'll have a surprise guest, an open mic for the public. We will have some experiments we will talk about. It will be mostly for the public to get on stage and talk about the things they want to talk about, and as well as some of our speakers will be there. The Saturday is mainly a speaker day, so it's gonna be presentations from about 10 in the morning until 10 in the evening. And we also have Martin Kenney presenting his surprise cosmic egg in the evening. And then Sunday is a total different day as well. We have the workshops there, and we have the physicist debate on the Sunday night. And the prices, they vary. For the Saturday night, it's £60, and for the Sunday, it's £50. And if you want to come the whole weekend, then it's £128.
All right, and there's tea included, and that sort of thing. And then
there's a lunch buffet.
Have badges.
So for noon lunch, we have a buffet, which is included, and then we have 3 sets of coffee and tea during the day as well. And there will be a bar.
Don't forget the biscuits. Don't forget the biscuits.
Don't forget the bar.
Yeah, no, definitely. That's actually Didi. Actually, she wanted a mobile bar, and I think she wanted it just for herself in the bedroom. But we've managed to put it in the event. I don't think actually Didi mentioned that we've also got Mike Cavanaugh and Leisurely Dave speaking on Sunday morning. So that's so the Sunday's split up into 3 parts really. So I think that's quite exciting.
So people are going to be able to watch this if they can't make it there. Let's say somebody in America who's not going to go to Birmingham, England. How does that work?
Well, that has been one of the headaches we've had. For $27, I'm actually converting it into dollars for a lot of the listeners. They will be able to go onto the website, go to the webinar section, and we're actually in the throes of actually just changing it slightly in the next few days, where we're going to direct people to a site where they can actually log in and be ready, and then they then pay, and that will then bring them back to the PayPal site that is currently in place. So we've obviously got people that have already signed up for it, Bob being one of them, which is great. But obviously what we need is, it's costing money to put on, it's a risk. So obviously all we can do is offer the service and then hope people take it up and watch.
Wonderful. I heard you say 2 words that piqued my curiosity: surprise guest on the first day.
That's Darren and Didi.
It's a surprise. So.
Yeah, I know. Come on, tell us. I'm gonna start shaking you on camera.
We can tell you who it isn't. It's not Neil deGrasse Tyson. It's not Brian Cox, and it's not Bill Nye. So does that help?
Yeah, it certainly does. I know who it is now.
no, who it isn't. No.
Yeah, I know. But meaning that it was those 3, with those 3 out of the picture, it obviously is door number 4. I absolutely have no idea. Wow, that's cool. Having a surprise guest is a really good idea. A wild card kind of thing.
It's just half an hour, so it's just a small extra, because we wanted to do a bit of everything, and since we couldn't decide, we decided to do everything. Yeah,
why not? I am unable to go. There's a big documentary being shown in Toronto, Canada. Mark Sargent and I are going to Canada for that, which is exactly around the same time. But nobody else in the Flat Earth community is going to it, so it's not going to be taking away at all, and it won't even be broadcast. So anyway, very exciting. Is there anything about this that people might want to know about that they don't know? And I know it's different than the American Flat Earth Conference because press is not involved really with this. That's one of the differences. What are the other differences?
We have actually got we've got somebody who's actually going to be writing a 3,500 word, possibly up to 7,000 word article for Esquire magazine. So even though there's not actually press there officially, there are people that are connected in one way or another. We've also hopefully got a TV. Well, I say hopefully, we should be finding out in the next day or 2 about a TV crew from Germany who want to film it. We've got a documentary that's taking place. We also have have you ever heard of Lad Bible?
No, I don't think so. How do you spell the first word? L-A-D or L? Yeah,
yes, L-A-D, Lad Bible. It's, I mean, Didi's aware of it and she's in Belgium, but I think it's pretty good. It's pretty big in, I don't know if it's just the UK or if it's in Europe, but they are sending in 3 people to film it. So different people are doing their thing. And what we said to them is, pardon me, there's no press passes, even though they're not exactly press. There's no press passes. If you want a ticket, we'll work with you to come up with some negotiated deal, but they've got to pay their way, and it's been supported.
That is good. Esquire magazine, that's pretty big.
Well, and also what they've done is he's already come down to interview me. He wants to interview Didi and I at the event on the Friday, and he's going to be there from the Friday right round to the Sunday. So he's obviously taken it very seriously. So he's a freelance writer. He's been given a commission from Esquire to come to us, and all I said to him is just tell the truth, just be honest, and tell it how you see it. And we went through some things. He bought me lunch, which is really, really nice. I'm quite like that idea. But yes, I've supported it and given it time because he's given it time, and we will work with him. And the other thing I'm going to do at the event is, because these film crews are going to be filming, we don't want people to feel, well, who are these? I'm actually going to introduce every single group there and get them to stand up so the audience can see them. And then it's up to the audience and if they go and see them or not.
Oh my gosh, that's a brilliant idea. And that's an idea that perhaps Robbie D, who does the conference in Canada, America, and elsewhere, I think that would be really good. It might make people, like you said, more comfortable. These are the whole conference convention thing. It's a learning process. The first one you do, your second one will be different because you'll learn what worked, what didn't work. Same thing as the American one, the one that's coming up in Edmonton, Canada in August, and then the one that's coming up in Denver in November. They're going to be different than the first one in Raleigh, North Carolina, although some of the same people are speaking and some of the same people, of course, are getting tickets and going. There will be a different feel to it, and any mistakes we've made, hopefully we'll learn from them. Probably not, but no, some of us will.
Can I mention, though, Patricia, that it has to change. You can't stand still, as you know. But the other thing that Didi come up with, I think is a fantastic thing, is that everything has to go through Didi. She's going to have to vet whatever's released. So basically, nobody can release anything. Okay, not the people that film it, not the audience, but the film crews have to go through Didi. Yeah, and that's really smart.
Yes. It seemed with the press that were just free to roam at the American one, they tried to find anybody who looked counterculture. Now, all of us involved with Flat Earth and the questioning the shape of the Earth are counterculture, whether or not we look traditionally like it or not. But they decided they would focus on the appearance of certain awesome people and in some way try to paint all flat earthers as being wearing tattoos or having long hair. And yeah, a lot of us have tattoos or long hair. A lot of us don't. We're a whole mixed bag of age and race and beliefs in general about the shape of the earth. But that's what the media does. They go for things that are shocking looking or crazy looking so they can manipulate. And it's not that they're trying to distance themselves from flat earth. They're just not aware of truth. They are just doing their job. That's what they do with anything that they cover, regardless of whether or not it's a conspiracy or a new theme park open. They're going to find people that look different and interesting that are going to catch your eye. So it's good that Didi is going to be the one filtering it all, because you want everybody represented, but you don't want them to slant it in some way.
Yeah, I remember the interview for BuzzFeed in the US.
Yes.
I did for half an hour, and he picked one sentence out of the half-hour interview, and he did the same with Karen, and Kenney got a little more airtime, though. Yeah.
It's funny because Mark Sargent and I did a bunch of interviews, but in one of them, all I said was, some people think this is the ice wall. That's all they used of me, as if all I talk about is an ice wall. I don't ever, pretty much at all, but yet they just used that, and you wonder why they pick what they pick and how they take out what you said before that or after that word or phrase that changes the meaning of everything that you say. Maybe they just don't understand flat earth, and that can be the issue, or they're trying to skew it one way or the other. I don't know. Either way, you're the flat earth filter there for press, which is good. Good job. Not easy though.
I'll try. Yeah, I think we needed a little bit of control since there's so many critics on the press releases of the last conference. I think.
Oh yes.
Control.
Well, that is going to happen regardless of how much control you exert over things and how transparent both of you are. There will be critics. There will be critics that make things up about what happened at the event. There's just people who are against there being conferences, conventions, meetups, and mixers, even if they're flat earthers. They think everything's a scam. Everything's all about making money. They can't believe that people will put their heart and soul into something because they truly know this is the right thing to do, and this is what we need to expose to the world. I don't know what to say about those people other than enjoy living in a life of illusion. Other than that, you have to just ignore them, because when you put yourself out there like both of you do, you take the body blows. Does it ever affect you? Do you ever feel disheartened by, it's a very small part of the community, of course, but when you hear people, the naysayers?
Oh yeah, for me it is, yeah, especially in the beginning, because I was afraid to show my face online or talk to many people, and the more people know you, the more criticism you get. So
very true.
You get a thick skin quite fast, but it's still frustrating sometimes.
Yes. Gary, what about you? Is it got you down every once in a while?
Yes, it does. Yeah, now and again, it can be very frustrating, especially if you already had a bad day where you know either life gets in the way, or you've had a couple of. I mean, Didi and I have had conversations like today. We had a conversation where we were saying, "Wow, today's been a good day," and it has been a good day, and we had you to look forward to as well. And other days, it's just everything. If you don't mind me swearing, everything just goes to rat shit, and it's just an absolute nightmare. But what I have found, and I'd like this, is that if I find that somebody's actually attacking me, or that I'm on a post, a thread that everyone's just absolutely going nuts, if I find one or two people that are really going to town, if I engage with them and say, would you talk to me, private message, or would you talk on the phone, every single person I've spoken to on the phone has backed down, every single one, because they just don't understand. They think they know what's happening, but when they speak to me and find out exactly what's going on, okay, they got to decide to trust me or not, and that's up to them. But it's amazing how their attitude changes, and it's actually quite instant.
That is good. But the thing is that you've been openly telling people what's going on from the start. That's the only part where, but I guess trust is earned. That's another thing. And in being involved in looking at conspiracies, the only person that's ever going to do that is a person who's suspicious. So, that's why we're all here. We were suspicious that we were lied to about the shape of the earth. So I guess you have to excuse people for being suspicious a little bit. But, sometimes I think that we do have to just allow people who are acting apparently in a very noble way to do their thing. And then if it all falls apart, then jump on them.
Yeah, I agree with that, because I'm more than happy to be condemned for what we do wrong. It would be nice if you get a little bit of, it's not exactly we're after praise, but it'd be nice if they recognize the balance between what's gone well, what's gone wrong. Because I was talking to the hotel today, and I'm trying to really fine tune the numbers. And the good thing about having Didi as a co-event director is that we've actually got our different skill sets, different knowledge. We do our own thing, and we can concentrate on our little areas. And things are going to go wrong. And what we're trying to do, and the other thing, I don't know how Robbie does it, and I think it's amazing that he puts on an event on his own. I don't know if he has a support team, but I couldn't do it without Didi, because we bounce ideas off each other. We try to fine tune it. We're forever discussing and delving in, and we both understand our own subject matter in a lot of depth. And it's the only way we could have done it. I couldn't have done this on my own. I really couldn't. I thought I could, but then I realized it was too much work. But,
well, you make a good team.
Yeah. The only thing is, though, she can't take praise. So you have to throw in that you've got to throw in the odd, she's got a big ass, or God, her hair looks a bit of a mess tonight. Because if not, she doesn't like it. She gets really unhappy. So I have to give her the odd insult to make her feel balanced. So.
Well, let me go into the live chat. There's many people here who are interested in the convention and are fans. I don't want to use the word fans, but meaning they like both of you. We've got Michael Kilpatrick, and we've got Carly Sunshine, and Four Eyes to See, and Stephen Watson, Arwin, Carl Stenbeck, Return of the Cat's Eyes, Five Artis Liberalis, Cami from Glowbusters, and Flat Earth Poncho Pete is here too.
Hi, everyone.
Yes. And
thanks so much for the support.
Flat Earth Poncho Pete, Chris Monk Seeley, Free Woman is here. Vinny Vincent from Vinny TV. And scrolling up, we've got Bob from Glowbusters. And
hi, Bob.
I think I might have mentioned the Flat Earth Vegans, not quite sure. Skyfly Bry is here. Brian Staveley is here. And so many people. The Adam Meakin is here. Anima Animus is here. Stephen Chess and Michael Kilpatrick. And I'm trying to scroll, and it's moving while I'm scrolling. And let's just leave it at, and a whole bunch of other cool people. Thanks for everyone. Zulu One as well, and Squirrel Sniper, and yeah, I think we've just about covered the names in the live chat without scrolling too far back to the start of the show. Well, you guys, I will close the show now, unless there's anything that I haven't asked you that you want to get across to people. Pretty much buy your tickets now is the message of this show, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's actually funny because in 5 minutes' time, I'm moving into 9 days to go, and Didi's already there because obviously she's an hour ahead of me.
She's in the
things.
future.
I know Skyfly Bry, I think that's how I pronounce it. He's only 4 miles from where I live, so we're going to meet up at some point. And secondly, Arwin mentioned that you got nice hair, but what I'm a little bit disappointed in, he's not mentioned anything about mine. So I don't quite know where he's going with this. I mean, he's obviously got, I don't know, he's delusional.
Funny.
So, yeah.
All right.
No, but it's been lovely to come on, and it's nice to catch up. And I don't know if you've seen a difference in the whole event over the last 10 months from when it started, but obviously at the beginning it was like in its infancy. It had nowhere, it had no like structure that was like tangible, whereas now it's a totally different animal. And what we've built, I think we're really proud of it.
Yes, the website, the YouTube channel, the way the logo is, the colors that you chose. I don't know who's responsible for all of that visual stuff, but whoever is, I don't know who it is of the two of you. Really good job. Really good job.
Well, Didi, if you want to mention.
Iru helped us a lot.
Oh, wonderful. I see everybody is pitching in and working with each other, which is a really good thing to see. It's what it's all about because we're all on the same team.
Yeah, that's what I learned from this. If we work together, we can do everything. So
yes. Well, thank you both, Didi Van H and Gary John, or Gary John Heather, depending upon how you know him. Thank you very much, both of you. And this concludes this episode of Flat Earth and Other Hot Potatoes, the UK convention update. All details in the description box. Give the video a thumbs up, please. And I appreciate you being here. And keep it flat.